Welcome in, everyone. So, I've had a lot of people ask about this. This is going to be on permission slips, and it's how we allow ourselves to tap into our more powerful self without actually accepting that we are powerful. But to truly understand this concept, I have to first underline universal laws. And so, I won't say that these are finite. I'm sure there may be multiple layers of these. You have the 12 universal laws, which incorporate the power of attraction, the idea of duality, and I'm not touching those kind of laws. This is just we exist. Everything is in the present moment. What you put out is everything you get back. And we are all one. And with these four laws, the universal, the idea of what you put out, what you get back, this is about your belief systems, and therefore whatever your belief systems are, that's what your life reflects. A lot of people question if there's any point to their lives. Well, that's where the existing one comes in. We exist, and therefore we are unconditionally loved by the oneness, by the universe. Well, we wouldn't be here. And therefore, everything in your life is here for a reason. You may look over or out your window and you see a dying plant on a tree and you go, well, what could that mean? And it's funny, I've just looked out the window, I've seen a dying plant, and right behind it is a squirrel. For me, squirrels mean joy. And again, you can give meaning to anything in your life. So don't worry too much about what is the meaning of life, and focus more on giving meaning throughout your life. But that's another topic for another day. Let's go back onto permission slips. So I've tried to bullet point what I want to talk about just so that I don't get too sidetracked. But let's get straight onto this. Now that we know that what we put out is what we get back, I want you to start looking for your belief systems. And I'll go over examples later, but to put it simply, if you wake up in the morning and look around you and you feel tired, and then you go, oh, what an awful day, the universe will then show you an awful day. It will unconditionally, lovingly give you an awful day because that's what you expect. And so if you've lived in this prison, and I spoke about this in another video where we live in our comfort zone, and people love to call it a comfort zone, and I just like to call it a prison. People live in these bubbles, and then they're surprised when life gets uncomfortable when they try and step out of it. That is a belief system that you have hit, and it is trying to revert you back to your older self, or a lower frequency, or however you'd like to look at this situation. And so instead, if you woke up and went, yeah, my back hurts, but yeah, that's in this moment, but in the next I can feel something different. I can go, my morning does not set the intention for the rest of my day. And then with this new belief system, all of a sudden, your next 24 hours is not affected by one moment. So that's the general thing. But because we bubble ourselves, because we imprison ourselves, we need a way of breaking out. And this is where permission slips come in. So let's describe what a permission slip is. It is something we do, whether it's an action, an object, or another person, that allows us to break out of our comfort zone and still allows it to feel comfortable. A great example of just simple permission slips is if you get a new crystal, if someone does a spell on you, if someone does a tarot reading on you. Because at the end of the day, the tarot reader, the crystal that you're holding is only a tool for you to tap into your own power. But this is why I call them permission slips. It's because it's allowing you to go, oh yes, I'm allowed to change this moment in a way that it wouldn't usually. So that's the basis of all permission slips. Now, hopefully, what I want you to get out of this video, and by all means, if this does help you, please like, subscribe, comment, and whatnot. I will answer all questions in chat, but I'm hoping this will empower you in a way that will allow you to change your destiny. And for those of you that are already there, realize that this again is only another tool. And when you get to a certain point in terms of your frequency and growth, you will no longer need permission slips. Because your permission slip that you're looking for, you'll already realize how powerful you are. You don't have to go looking for a spell or something. You can just go, oh yeah, no, I'd rather be in this state of being, and then you are. So this is, again, just a tool that's very helpful when you're tapping into spiritual manifestation and things like this. So let's now go through an example. Let's try and make a permission slip for you. And so I'm going to do one based on one I've done recently, but I'll take you through the steps on how I did it, and by all means take part, make one for yourself. So first of all, I need you to think of an idea, a goal, something that you want to create or manifest in this world. And so while you're thinking, I'll just give you a bit of my backstory. I work in a jeweler's. It provides for my family. It's always been in my life, and like it makes me very stable. But it is not my passion. My passion is tarot. My passion is helping people. My passion is being there to give the love that I've given to myself to others. And my limiting belief, which now I don't need permission slips in this because of this example, but I'll let you know anyway. My limiting belief was my passions cannot support me like a 9-to-5 job. That's how my parents did it. That's how my grandparents did it. I'm not surprised I had this limiting belief, but I'm starting to see now that it's not true. But this was my goal. I wanted to allow myself to be financially free with just my passions alone. And then we need to set an intention or the permissions. So if you want a simple one, if it's something like success in this regard, you can just go to your local crystal shop, get either citrine or what's a good one? Carnelian, something that will give you courage, that will put a bit of fire in your backbone and give you the discipline to just take action. And therefore, this is the power of a permission slip, because you wouldn't usually find these powers within inside yourself, and then all of a sudden you're waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning to go for a run. And so this is again what kind of happened to me, just to prove to myself that I can start saying I'm going to do something, and then I was doing it. I mean, I got to the point that I was doing cold showers. I've been watching loads of podcasts and things on like spiritual growth, financial growth, and this all started because of a permission slip. Now, my permission slip wasn't a crystal. I've always been quite good at tapping into summoning, and so what I did was I created my own summon. So think of it like a guardian angel. And this is, if you can go back and watch older videos, I've got 12 gods that I've created for myself and summoned into my reality. The reason the squirrel from before means joy is one of the 12 gods is called Stephen. He's a squirrel that is constantly adventuring and roaming the land. Now it's a fixed belief within me. But I made a psychic, if you will. Their name is Eclipse. They are a ferret with antlers. So like a tiny little thing, like cute little antlers. And so Eclipse became my permission slip. And whenever I needed help, whenever I felt like I was being too drawn to the financial side of things and it was coming from a place of either greed or need, and not just belief and knowing that I was already there, Eclipse would always be there to tell me. And so I don't expect you lot to do summons, but again, I had to make it elaborate because at that point in my life I didn't believe a crystal was enough. And again, that was a belief. But now I know a crystal is more than enough. So find what you resonate, and it will be very different for each people. It could be just speaking to a friend so that you now have someone to refer your feelings to. And so if you say, I want to achieve this over the next year, well, now if you don't, you're not only letting yourself down, you're letting someone else down. That's a permission slip. You've now given yourself permission to change. The next part, now that you know what you want and you know what action to take, is take it to its extreme. And what I mean by this is allow yourself to feel what it would feel to have that thing in this moment. Emotionally. Because this is how we connect to our higher self, this is how we connect to our guides. Or in my case, my summons, it's through my emotions, what I'm feeling. And when people go, then why is my life shit? Well, if your emotions are always shit, that's what the universe is hearing and giving back to you. So take it to the extreme. Feel that feeling of ecstasy or joy, success, whatever it is that you are trying to get out of this situation. Allow yourself to feel it to the fullest. And then finally, let go of that feeling. And just know that it's there. Because the fact of the matter is, if everything exists in the present moment, the fact that you have allowed yourself to feel what it feels like, to have what you already want, means the universe already knows what you're trying to aim for. And then the hardest and probably the biggest problem people have when it comes to these permission slips towards manifesting, if it's not manifesting and you just want to feel a better place, this isn't so much of an issue. But when it's, I want to be here, I want to do this, the biggest problem people have is they don't let go of the final look. And so people may want love in their life, but they have a crush in mind. And again, use that crush to allow yourself to feel those deep emotions, what it would be like to live with them or be with them. But then let go of it. Because if the universe has something better in store for you, I don't want you to limit yourself by just what you can imagine. So that's the final phase. In that moment, the moment you feel the best feelings towards that, or at least what you can manage at that time, the best feelings towards that final goal, then just let it go. And that's how to use permission slips. And now, I would love if you lot write in the comments any ideas or forms of permission slips that you have. Another one that I've been doing recently, because again, this was the first one when I realized how to do it. I made it so elaborate. Now I can just hear my thoughts, and I'll be having conversations with people, because I've started, and I really should stop, because I don't want to force people into a spiritual path if they're not ready for it. But who was it? Someone turned around to me and went, yeah, but they're always like this. And so they were talking about love. And I went, yeah, that's a really good belief system. And if that's the system you're living by, I would hate to be the person you're trying to manifest if they are constantly what you don't want. So I now give myself permission to change the moment I hear a belief system pop up. And so if I'm giving people tarot readings, I'll try and do this as well. So by all means, check out my private things as well. If you'd like a private reading from me, whether that's dice casting or tarot reading, but realize that these are all things you can do yourself. Right, it's time to end my use of it because my son's just popped in. But so just to finalize how to use this, first of all, write a list of like 5 things you want to manifest, and then write separate permission slips, and it could be an animal, it could be a crystal, it could be a spell if you know how to create those, it could be a person that can help you, whatever it is. Devote a permission slip to that idea so that you can start being more of your authentic self. Again, authentic self is another video for another day. And just finally, I'll leave you with this. You are extremely powerful. The moment you realize that you have created everything in your world will be the day that you are willing to change your world in any way you want. But from me, stay kind, stay cute, stay curious, my friends, and I'll see you all very soon.